So, hi, my name's Mru Patel, and I have with me today a good friend of mine, a journalist, Jillian. Jillian will introduce herself to you, but myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, on philanthropist, public speaker, la la la, and the rest.
La la la. I'm a la too.
Google Mru Patel. But today, what we want to talk about is how to help up and coming authors, how to become best selling authors, how to manage your time, how to write it quickly, things along those lines. So, we're going to have a general kind of like a fireside chat way of things. Myself, I've been trained and written, I've got 3 now that are already best selling category. 2 of them already are. Third one in the pipeline on cryptos and blockchain space. And I've got 4 in PDF versions that I haven't got around to doing. And we're going to talk about time management, how to sell, how to market, and all of that. Jill, quick intro.
Quick intro. I'm a journalist, as you said, and a broadcaster here based in Ireland, and I'm also an author. So I've written quite a few books, quite a few fiction, 1 or 2 nonfiction. But recently, the reason why I'm sort of reaching out to Mru is that I've just published my first book of nonfiction in the blockchain and crypto space. And I said to Mru, help me. How do I make this go faster? So even though I've done this before, I know I haven't had a bestseller. So I want to find out the tips. I want Mru to spill all the secrets and tell me how to do it.
Okay, first and foremost, it's some basic stats. Let's start with basic stats. And I will play it down because a lot of people, if you watch TV these days, are jumping on back of subjects that are topical to create a bestseller from it. And the worst one that I see on a daily basis is political based because, dare I say it, Trump has stolen the media airtime for the last 3-4 years. So almost everyone is writing a book on politics to do with Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Trump, and all the controversial things in and around it. So find a topic that is in demand, in need. That's what it should teach you. Okay. A topic that is in demand and in need. And whenever you write a book, always have 2 or 3 basic things in like inbred into you before you start. First of all, say, why am I doing it? Why me? Why am I doing it? What value do you have to give into the content? So if you don't have what I call the sexy model, SEKSE, S for strengths, E for education, K for your knowledge, S for your skills, and E for your experience. Okay, that's your sexy model. So you got to define each one of this. This is me and my sexy model. And then say, what's my passion behind it? What wakes me up and what will not make me think why I even want to write this book or why I want to do this business. By the way, this model applies in business as well. I've had this for 25 years, this model. I've even coached numerous people in and around this. So then you find your passion. Then you find out what are the market problems, solutions, and where you fit into that and where they overlap, i.e., and I'll send you this model if you want, in a Venn diagram. And where the 3 Venn diagrams meet is your G spot, and you like that. And the G spot is your greatness spot. Okay, so where there is a need, real need and problem, where you can add value based on your sexy model, and where people will be willing to pay for it.
Okay? That's the bottom line, isn't it? People
and
that's pay for it.
So those 3, when they come together, and you find it in the middle, and that's your greatness spot. So you have to define that greatness spot. So you can apply this to a business, writing a book, anything. Okay. And then once you've found that, now you say, why this book and why me? And it will get you that answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Following on from there, people say, I want to be a bestseller. I will say it's no big deal. By the way, if I don't know whether you know the stats, you can be a bestseller with 200 book sales, by the way. There are tricks and tips how to do it, and people milk it and manipulate it to no end. Okay?
Yeah.
The reason being, everyone likes to be called a bestseller for 2 reasons. One is they think they will be rich overnight. and two is a branding thing. My whole thing was only for branding and knowledge giving back to the community. So I had a different reason to be a bestseller. I didn't want to make money out of books. In fact, all my books are given back to charity anyway, the money I collect. So it's not for money. Mine was, how do I add value to the community? How do I give my experience and share that journey with the people? Because I want to leave a mark on the planet that, he changed my life because of. That's all I care about. Selfless giving. And when you do that selfless giving, the best content comes out, in my view. Okay.
Perfect.
Because
Yeah.
you're not in it to make money. So I also have another saying that, if you focus on fame and success to be successful, you failed. Focus on your experiences, and then the success will follow. And your excellence. Focus on your experience and focus on your excellence. So when you deliver something that's excellent, which is, as I said, in my case, was selfless, that excellence delivery in a book, in a business, in whatever it is, defined to solve people's problems, needs, and all those things, as I said earlier, that will help people, in my view, get the best out of your book or your business, because you will be solving real problems for someone even to buy the book and open it to read it, to learn something from it, or for a business that you are solving a problem for someone to use your business because you're helping solve a real problem and need with your sexy model and the rest of it. Okay. So a best-selling book, your motive should be there. Don't think of money. Just think of, how can I change someone's life based on this? So the whole book will be written that way. And bestseller doesn't mean thousands and thousands of copies. In fact, here's a stat for you. 85% of the people who even buy a book, they will look at the cover, they will look at the back, and they will see who's the author, what's their experience, and what have you. Yeah. And
Yeah.
why are they writing this book? Once they've looked at that, it might get them to open the book. When they open the book, they will look at the contents page. Does it have at least 2 or 3 things in the contents page, in terms of chapters or whatever, that hits them, that addresses their problem or need? If it hits them, they'll say, worth buying or worth reading. They'll flick to the foreword or the author's bio or whatever, and they'll say, yeah, this guy looks credible enough. It's not fake news. It's not bullshit. It's not this. He has the stars and stripes all over him. They might get to the chapter that interested them, flick through it, and then say, this book I will take or I will buy. That's 85% of the people, and they don't finish a book ever.
Well, that's shocking, isn't it? Well, I suppose you're
Proven.
non-fiction books. Non-fiction books probably have a different.
No, I'm talking about non-fiction book. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
non-fiction books. Yeah, because you're writing a non-fiction book.
Yes, yeah. No, I said obviously with fiction, there's a story.
Fiction is a story. You get involved. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all it is.
don't get
The
bored.
same thing. It's different attention span. People are buying it to relax or escape or something. But when you're out there to do a non-fiction value add business help book, whatever it is, in that category, that's what they look for. All right.
So how do you choose your topics then? You've written a number of bestsellers.
Yes.
How do you choose your topics?
Very easy. One is through experience first, okay? What you see in life. Because the more people you talk to, the more people, bloody hell, how do I solve this? Or you've experienced it yourself. How do I address this problem? How do I? And you see how difficult it is for you to get either the right information, service, product, whatever it is, okay? And based on that, a topic may come out. Then what I say is, what 90% of people don't do is they don't research the hell out of it. Meaning, is it covered? Do people know it? Do people really know it? If I found it difficult, how easy was it, or how difficult was it for me to get the answers I was looking for that product, service, delivery, whatever it was? If I found it more and more hard, then you say, there's a problem because I can't get it. Now, how do I make it easy for the next person looking at it? Or the next person wanting this service? So currently with the COVID thing, if you think about it, majority of the people, including schools and universities, have closed. What's the one biggest thing that's happening? Distant learning, distant education, Zooms, all this way of doing education. Because education is one thing that is timeless. Even me at my age, dare I say it, I'm constantly learning daily. All right.
Oh, trust me. I was in a class this morning on creative digital advertising. I discovered I'm still with the dinosaurs when it comes to presenting products.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Learned loads of things today.
Because, and I used to do marketing and branding for major blue chips. I'm still learning on it because
Yeah.
it changes. It's so rapid that, so if you don't reinvent and re-involve yourself, you will die and you'll become a dinosaur because the world is changing that fast. So education and distant learning is a key. I've just sent you this time management thing. Let's bring that into it. Okay, let me open it up here. Okay,
Share screen.
yeah, let me. I will open it here. Let me see if I can open what I've sent you. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Let's
So,
down all of these other.
so what were you doing between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.?
Okay, so here's me. I was on the phone, as you can see, or on the tablet, right? Okay,
So do you not sleep then, Mru?
I sleep. Dare I say it? And you can ask Georgie this. I sleep roughly 3 hours a night, and that's sad.
Wow.
And then I might take another 1 hour power nap after that.
Okay. So that
Okay.
means you want more hours in the day to work
Okay,
with.
this is yesterday or day before. Okay, so typically this is my spread. However, the times that are around the, you see the 3 and 4 and 8, sometimes the 12 carries on until 3 and 4, and then between 4 and 8 I'll get a power nap. I might wake up at 7. I will do 2 or 3 hours, and then where you see the blank white bits is that's where I'm doing the writing, the phone calls, the Zoom links, the la la la.
Interesting.
Okay, so it's all time slicing. So where you see the usage over here, which is either on a laptop or on my mobile or a iPad, sorry, not iPad, my Android tablet, it would be anything to do with news, stocks and shares, financial systems, writing reports, writing documents. It could be reading and researching. It could be what you call it, proposals. All these kinds of productivity things that can be done on a phone, tablet, or a laptop. Okay, so where you see the white bits is when I've gone off and gone onto a laptop or something, or I'm on a Zoom.
Oh, and when do you sleep?
Okay, so on this particular instance, it was between 12 and 3, as you see.
Okay. Okay.
12 and, yeah, almost 4. Can you
Yeah.
see?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I'm not asking people to do this because it'll kill yourself. It's not cut out for everyone. All right. But what I am saying is, if you time slice, the reason for showing this is if you time slice to say between this hour and this hour every day, I will do things that are. So, I won't have come out of bed at that 8 a.m., for example. Okay. So I would say, what can I do whilst I'm still in bed? All right. I can easily have a tablet. I can easily have a phone. I can do all my research work. I can do the cut paste from various places to write notes. I can have a Evernote I use for making notes and action plans and particular bullet points or things to check out during the day or people to call, any innovative ideas I have to follow up, any emails I need to throw out there to people to say, please look at this, please look at that. All that can happen whilst you're still in bed.
Now, they do say you shouldn't bring your mobile phones to bed.
Yes. I'm
a
a very bad example for that. Believe me.
Most of us use our phones.
So I used to put the mobile phone far away. Lately, I've brought it back to me because there's a lot of stuff going on just now. All right, so I brought it back. But yes, soon it will move back, so it's not next to you. So don't keep it next to your side bed, lamp tables, or whatever you have next to you. Not at arm's reach. Make it so you have to stand up and go. So I used to do that, or dare I say, I was forced to do that.
Number of bestsellers.
Okay, so now best-selling time. Okay,
back to the best-selling time.
Okay, best-selling time.
How long did it take you to write each one?
Okay, so there's the secret. Okay, and I'll share that with you. Where you see this green light and what have you, you can write, and I've done one of them in that time. Okay, in less than 50 hours.
Wow. That's a
Okay,
week, a short week.
okay. So here's what you do. So you find a topic. Okay, um, give me a topic. Give me a problem topic just now, and I'll run you with a live example, so people watching this will know this is not rehearsed. This is, and
Okay,
you can vouch for this, by the way, right? This is
understanding machine learning.
understanding machine learning. Okay, all right. Understanding machine learning. So tell me, why have you chosen that? I can tell you all about this because my degree was on computing, so I can tell you about this a lot. Anyway, tell me why you want to know about this subject.
Ooh, okay. Because I know quite a lot about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and AI, and machine learning kind of is always squeezed in at the end. I'm never quite sure what it is and how valuable it is. And is it important to have it like with the machine learning, with the AI? So do they go together? So it's like repetitive learning? Machine learning confuses me sometimes.
Okay, and why does it confuse you?
Um, like, how do machines learn? And can they learn faster than humans? And can the cumulative effect of their learning be much more intelligent than humans?
Okay, and what is it that interests you to learn this?
Because kind of, for example, with
And how
cars,
will you use it? Yeah,
or
how
with
will you?
self-driving cars,
Yeah.
maybe you want to use the machine learning. For example, we hear about a lot the autonomous cars in the States, whatever, the big roads. Now, I live in very rural Ireland. There's potholes and there's little roads, and they're all there's green in the middle of the road sometimes too as well. And I've been told that it's very difficult for a car to learn how to drive those roads because they're not predictable. They're very, and there's pheasants flying around this time of year, and you got to slow down for the pheasants because pheasants are very stupid birds, and they walk towards the car rather than away. So it's so those things that, I mean, would machine learning be able to cope with an Irish countryside in the autumn?
Okay, I won't go through this whole exercise, but just based on what I've just done to you, I will show you how you can write 2 or 3 chapters immediately. Okay,
Okay.
just on those simple. What is it? How would it be used? What are the challenges? Simple questions. So what you do is first say machine learning. What is it about machine learning that people want to know about? Okay, and you say, I want to know about it from the car perspective. I want to know about it from, will it be more challenging than people, and will it be able to learn faster than how people will think? Was the other thing, will you be able to put it in a car that it's intelligent enough then with artificial intelligence to know to drive through a countryside and avoid the pheasants? La la la. Okay, these are the questions and these are the things that you are asking. Okay, already 2 or 3 chapters. So you say machine learning explained or explored. So is there a benefit or an advantage to it? Yes, no type of question. What are these? Okay, so you've already done 2 of them in cars, autonomous things, in people and thinking to crunch solutions. Will it be faster to use AI and machine learning in that? 3, you've said, how will it know or predict stuff? Okay, learn from. So based on that, you go and find some answers. So you've got down your 3 main problems you want to solve or a need.
Yeah.
Now you find the 3 solutions for it or the answers to it. So you say, okay, what is machine learning? And you find out. Machine learning, by the way, if you want it explained, what it is now, the way the computers are going, and I can tell you this firsthand. I learned about assembler and artificial intelligence, Lisp and Yak in the 80s when I did my degree, okay, in this AI languages and machine learning languages, okay. And then it went on to different versions, and now you have a lot more. So I've become a dinosaur because it didn't excite me to do programming, all right. So what happened is, even in those days to now, what's happening is the compute power has become so vast, so fast, and now people are talking about delivering nanochips and quantum computing. Okay, what that means is it can do instructions and calculations so fast And it's predicted that by the year, in fact, I'm glad you asked that. Let me just see if I can pull up my slide to explain that even better. From the baby boomer days to the Gen Z to the Gen Alpha stage, you will now see computers being developed that will think almost like humans at that speed, because it's almost happening, because it can think that fast. You've already had a computer that can beat, what's his name, Korpochov or whatever, the Russian guy at chess, all right? Okay, so it shows that it can think that fast already. Tons of computers from IBM and lots of AI, machine learning, technologies deployed to it. But because compute has crunched down so fast, just think, I have 1 terabyte on my phone. All right. Imagine in my days when I was programming, 32K was a big program, and we were writing programs to do payrolls of companies. Right. And look at it now. We got 1 terabyte on the damn thing as disk and 32 gigs as memory. No, sorry. On this one, I have 128 gig of memory. Yeah.
No,
It's a lot. It's a lot, right? So it's crazy. So let me see if I can find this slide. There. Okay. Okay. Can you see this slide?
Indeed, yes.
Hang on. It's just part of another slide. Opa. There you go. Okay. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the early days, if you see, and again, when you do the research, you just ask that question, and thank God these days with internet, you can write books in 50 hours, no problem.
So singularity is going to happen in 2050, or is that before that?
Yeah, look, I'll show you. Okay, anyway, this is the history of how computers developed, okay? And it developed so fast from the millennials all the way now to what's happening now, okay? So we are now in the Gen Z stage. So AI, deep learning, machine learning, nanochips is all being happening. Blockchain started earlier. So now with quantum computing coming on and taking off, you'll be able to compute so fast, and the nanochips will get even better to get machine learning and AI based technologies to be so fast that you will have virtual worlds. With COVID now, people are already doing virtual calls, virtual meetings, but you'll be able to feel like the person will be next to you with augmented reality. Okay. Smart cities will be a norm. AI and robotics will be a norm. And machine learning, coming back to it, the capabilities will be, because the technology is so fast. And as I said, how the brain thinks, oh, there's a pheasant, I will move there. So with the AI and machine learning technologies, people will program these devices. People can already see in cars now if there's obstruction and stop automatically. That already exists, right?
Yeah.
But the compute power to put it in a car is not there yet, because it's instantaneous. So coming back to your scenario, when the compute power has come into these micro nano chips really fast with those programs in there to recognize some of these, and instead of having a whole room of servers to crunch that information in microsecond of a time, because that's all you have in a car, to bring it down to something that sits this big in the back of your boot, is happening. So what will happen is it will learn itself. Oh, that was a car, that was a dog, that was an antelope, that was a pheasant, whatever it was. Avoid it, warn, put a signal, indicate left, indicate right, for someone behind you to know what's happening. Things along those lines. So all these are programming things that's done through programs. It's only as good as what people program it. But the machine learning thing learns from those mistakes and corrects it. That's what it does.
Your slide, I didn't realize that 2015, the brain power of a mouse was surpassed by computers.
2050, yeah. So that is the time you will see some serious compute power.
Oh, and the brain is in 2023. Isn't it three years off?
Sorry, the brain? No, 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 no.
Really fast.
That's 2040, around 2040.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's about 2040.
It's
Yeah,
coming fast.
it's coming very fast. And now, how does that help us in our blockchain space, right? So if you think about it, now with blockchain and crypto, if you're writing a book on it, how would you do it where people have a need and a real genuine problem to solve? And if you just take COVID into the equation, you say, okay, people are fed up of governments running their business and their finance. Everything we are developing is along with that ethos. We are fed up with Facebook selling our data. We are fed up of being marketed in with spam. I want marketing to be done to me that I want to see, that only is beneficial to me. It's personalized on my interests, my likes, my this, that, and the other. I don't want generic bullshit thrown on at me, right? And pop-ups coming and blasting my ears out non-stop, interrupting my life, right? And that's what we're developing, because that's a problem and that's a need, right?
Mhm.
Bring it back to a book now. In a book, you take these topics and then apply machine learning onto it. That becomes another chapter.
What a very
Got it?
pragmatic question then. What is the optimum book length?
There is no optimum book length, in my view. People will tell you 300 pages for a business book, uh, 50,000 to 8,000, 80,000 for a science fiction or a fictional book. Typically, that's what they say, or 100,000 if you're J.K. Rowling's or something like that, or 100 and something thousand if you're J.K. Rowling's, because everyone has their own, what I call, again, coming back to the reason, what are you trying to solve? Or what are you trying to convey? So if it's for a movie that is a 3-hour long movie, it's a different book. If you're trying to do a short serial type of movie and multiple parts, that'll be a different type of book. You see, so the end goal needs to be defined before you start a book. A lot of people just start a book and say, oh, I want to write a book on this, and they start. No, the planning stage before should take more time than actually writing the book.
So it's measure twice, cut once.
There you go.
Mhm.
Okay.
How do you promote your books?
Okay. So that's a very good question. Again, depends on what you want from it. If you want to be a bestseller for educational purposes, or do you want to make money out of it? Okay. So a lot of my books were first either giveaways or price of a coffee, as I call it, because it's for educational reasons, but I wanted to collect a little bit at least for charity, right? So think about selfless giving and helping, and success will come to you afterwards, because it gives you the branding. So the next book and the book after, you can do whatever. I never look at books to make me what you call it, a multimillionaire, for one of better words.
It's really hard. It's a rare author that does achieve that. Actually,
It's less than 1%.
yeah, totally. And funnily enough, I mean, I'm a writer, so I love writing. I have this whole joy of writing. But funnily enough, I have inadvertently followed your route in the sense that all the proceeds from the book are going to our rescue horses.
There you go. Yeah,
so,
we spoke about this last time with you. Yeah, remember I said I did this?
So the horses
Well done. Well done.
Which is makes me happy, because it means it's easier for me to promote it, because I'm kind of going, ultimately the horses will benefit.
There you go. So let me answer your question on how do you market it. So first, what you do is you write that. So I used to do. Can you just get me my art and science book for a second? With the stampila on it. That's the one. Okay. So for example, I think I talked to you about this one. Can you see this?
It
Not quite. Yeah. 1 second. Here.
There.
Now you can. Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. So this, you put a little sticker on it for the charity.
Yeah.
And I also did this for the charity thing. Okay. For example, these are just stick-on things, because if you print it, you can get them printed, but sometimes you don't want to put them on there when you want to sell it. But I put them as little stickers going in, right? That all profits go to.
How many books did you print?
This one was 2,000.
Okay.
Okay. But my advice to anybody: don't print more than 500. Okay.
Yeah.
Test it out. Okay. Then, how do you sell and market it was your question. So, first and foremost, you go to all the horses people, all the horses, stables, training shows, anything to do with the horses business. You write them a little one letter, standard letter. Hello, I'm doing this book for the promotion for horses charity. Find your sweet spot there. It's the
Yeah.
best tip I'll give you. All right. And you say, would you be kind enough to buy 10 books? It's only £3, £1, whatever. However, the money is going to your charity. Please buy 10, give it out to friends, family, or sell it if you want. It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Write to all of them. If you write to 50 of them and 20 take it on, that's 100 books gone.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
The more the merrier. Then look at the book content. What's the book about? Your one?
It's interviews with
Leaders.
and shakers in blockchain.
Okay. Oh, is this the one that I'm in, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Very important people.
Okay. There you go. All right. So what you then do is to do the following. You pick out 2 or 3 of the big guys in there who has a huge following. Okay. So I've got like 50,000, like at last count, I don't know how many, from all my social media, plus our own business community, which is 50,000 in itself. So I must have a reach of more than probably 500,000
Wow.
as a reach. Yeah. So you look at people's reach rather than people's business, whatever. Do you understand?
A release pertinent to you.
And then what you do is you do that promo of the book. In this book, featured are, okay,
Yeah.
interviews with la la la, and a 2-liner, 1-liner. His achievements are this. He has a reach of this. He's spoken at hundreds of conferences around the world for the last 30 years, and he's a major visionary or a thought leader, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's a disruptor, he's a best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, blah blah blah. And pick up 3 or 4 of your big reach, big achievement people in the book. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are getting insider tips, tricks, thought provoking ideas from these people in these interviews firsthand by just buying a book. In fact, I told you this is what my idea was, if you remember. This book was that, exactly that.
Oh, yes.
I told you we collected thought leaders from various places, and I said I wanted to do that for blockchain, and you've gone ahead and done it. Remember I said that? Because we created this, and then each one had their own name on it. So you see it has Mru Patel. So each of the thought leaders in there, you say you can get your version printed to say you are now in the book.
Oh, so different covers.
Yes.
Ah, that's clever.
9 years ago we did this. Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've learned from the likes of Jerry Robert and Raymond Aarons, who are New York Times top 10 best-selling authors, and Jack Canfield.
Oh, wow.
So this is people who have sold the highest number of books in the world ever. The likes of even Oprah Winfrey and all these people have learned from these guys how to write a book.
Yeah.
And I've been trained by 2 of them. Right? So I've paid thousands in learning how to do it. When I started, okay, I had the luxury of spending so much money. Just learn how to learn the tips and tricks, right? So I've collected the best of breed from all these people and done my way of doing things, okay, to help people. So then what you do is you then write that to say, featured in this book are.
Yeah.
And you can do this. Put people's name in here. Because remember the idea I'd given you to say do co-authors, Jillian and Mru Patel, and then we do it that way. Remember?
Yeah.
And then I said, in here, we could probably do individuals' names if they want to order it.
Isn't that clever?
Of course, I'm clever. Thank you.
So it becomes, the interviewee becomes the author almost. They're named on the
Well,
front.
they gave you the content.
Yeah.
Give them credit. They gave you the content.
That is very clever.
No, because you are just the middleman putting all that content together. Sorry to say it, but that's what most journalists do.
Mm.
Actual content is by someone else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I love about it is I have the privilege of speaking to some of these amazing people.
Well, yes, because that's what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
you are not the content provider. They are the content provider.
Yeah. I'm the conduit.
You are the conduit. You see? And
Mm.
the sooner that people realize that, if you don't share that with the people contributing, you've lost the plot. Why do you think Facebook is at threat? Why do you think what we are doing behind us? Do you see this?
Yes.
Um, at the top, it says flash ad chain.
Yeah.
Okay. What that is we are going to give people advertising on our platform from the suppliers, targeting to meet the user's requirements. But we are going to give them 30% of the revenue that comes from that adverts by just seeing that ad. And 30% will give to charities.
Yeah.
So imagine if Facebook gave you 30% of all its ads that you see.
Be very nice, wouldn't it?
And imagine if Facebook gave 30% of that money to charities. The world would be in a better place, right?
Totally. Totally.
People wouldn't mind using the bloody platform properly then, right?
Oh, it makes a huge difference.
So that's our
Yeah.
way of thinking. So bringing that same concept even to, in fact, it started with the book, bringing that same concept on the book.
Yeah.
Tell your guys, I'm going to give you 10 books because you contributed here. Thank you very much. You are also in here. But can you please send out a note to your group, post it on your LinkedIn or your Facebook or whatever. And I'll tell you the trick for that as well, how to become a bestseller. All right?
Yeah.
There are two ways of doing that. One is spending lots of marketing money, which most people do. Yeah? Because in the older days, they wanted to be the front window book in W.H. Smith's or whatever. Okay?
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's changed. People want you to be the front promoted book on Amazon or wherever. That costs a lot of marketing money.
Yes.
My model is different. My model is pull the people to you. Create that marketing need for people. Meaning, you tell them, special day, special promotion. On this day, on the 20th of December, Christmas is coming. Send it out to all the host people. Send it out to your top 5 content providers with their name on it. Send it out to all these people and say, I will publish it on Amazon on that day. On that day, you will get 10-20% discount as well. Yeah? You get 20-30% as well. Or it's a special promo price on that day only, and the price will increase afterwards.
Yeah.
Two ways of doing it. Best is to do a price and they say, I will be increasing the price after that.
Yeah.
Make it over a window of 1 to 3 days maximum. But that's when you do your blast out supporting emails to all the community everywhere you can. Only focused on those 2-3 days.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's a short window of opportunity.
And on those days, you follow Amazon or whoever, wherever you're selling it, most probably Amazon, and you see whether it makes the top best-selling list. Because it's a massive bump, right? Because imagine if the horse buyers are buying 10 each on that day. And that's when you have to do frantic marketing, right? To everybody. Your authors and your core content providers are also promoting to all their social medias or whoever. Yeah?
Yeah.
You have done a video promo build up for it on this day, on this day, on this day. Yeah? You're bringing the odd supporters for you, like myself, to say, hey, buy this book because this is what's good for it, and this is why, and this is what it covers, and this is how it helps me, and testimonials and bullshit like that.
Yes. Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. And then you publish and launch it. So you do the build up, you do the awards or whatever, and away you go.
Fine.
So I'll do your testimonial, not a problem. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, I even offered to write your what you call it, forward. So I had Raymond Aaron himself write my forward on one of my books. Yeah. Jack wanted to do it, but I got Raymond to do it because I did his course. So I said, okay, you do it.
Yeah,
He actually wrote the forward for my book.
that's amazing.
Yeah. So that helps.
Yeah,
But that also costs, I'll tell you. It costs because of obvious reasons, right?
yeah.
So if you wanna, we could do a forward for you if you don't have anybody.
I actually have a forward in it already.
Who's written it?
There's Stefan Rust.
Oh, Stefan's done it? Okay, so Stefan did that, right?
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that. I had a fireside chat with him just yesterday.
You're talking about his Sonic Ventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early days, yeah. Yeah, Stefan is, I know him for over 20 years, right? To 20 years.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were at Sun Microsystems together.
Oh my goodness, it is such a small world, isn't it?
And then obviously met him at various events for blockchain and Bitcoin stuff, and him with Bitcoin Cash.
Yes, yeah.
In fact, last I saw him, that thing I told you about lockdown was in Miami. That's when I saw him last.
Ah, the last in-person one.
Yeah, in-person one, physical one. Yeah. And just yesterday, around this time, I think it was, I did a conference call with him, a fireside chat, like similar to what we are doing now.
That's mad.
Yeah. So if you want to do so you've got a forward.
Yeah.
If you want to do a testimonial page, I'll do a testimonial page.
I would love that, because I'm trying to set up a website as well, just a very landing page one as well.
Yeah. So we just do a testimonial page.
Yeah.
And I can show you what should be in there. It's a template. Yeah. And what you do is you just say, okay, so you put the name and person, a short bio of the person.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you the bio. And I can even tell you to write the testimonial and I'll edit it.
Okay, yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? But there's a trick to what you write in the testimonials now. Mm-hmm. So in the testimonial, there's 2 or 3 things you have to cover as a template. First, Mru Patel, quick half-page bio. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing more than half-page, okay? Mm-hmm. So a summary bio, for want of better words, right? And then at the bottom half, you do the quoted testimonial. And in there, you have to cover, this is why I like the book, because it helped me solve this problem, or it gave me this additional information, and even an experienced person like me managed to learn something from it.
Yeah.
Yes? Mm. And then the second thing you need to say is, in particular, page XYZ in chapter ABC, the statement made here really opened my eyes to a different way of thinking about ABC.
Okay.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right.
I wouldn't have thought of that second part.
Of course you wouldn't. You're no experience in this.
Of course.
You're a newbie, darling. You're a newbie. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
That should be the template.
Okay.
So if you want, write it. I will send you a couple of bios or whatever, or Georgie can send you a couple of my bios. Yeah. And then just do a shortened version of the bio that suits your book, because a bio for me is generic, but it should be suited to where it's going. So I'll send you the speaker bio and the normal bio. Just cut it what suits your book.
Yeah. And
then always think, who's the audience? Who do you want to buy this? The horse guys don't give a shit about blockchain. Let me tell you that. Okay. However, you should give them the reason why they should buy. It's not only for charity. You should say, this business you should look at even for implementing and adopting blockchain into the horse trading business. So it could be anything to do with from birth from cradle to grave scenario of the horse's life
Yeah.
cycle. So blockchain can easily be adopted. So you give them a use case scenario and you say, using this technology, horse trading tips, work, betting, jumping, pedigree, breeding, all of this can be tracked in blockchain in a much better way, in a simplistic way. Revisit your business model. This will teach you how to revisit your own business as a use case. Give them that use case scenario. Yeah?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because that's what it does, really. The business case scenario for a horse. You know, right from birth, a horse can be chipped with an IOTA.
Yeah.
And give them this. Here's my vision. I don't even know that. I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
A horse can be chipped with an IOTA device and it will be tracked from there to death. So on there, you can have a chip with some storage on it. And through the blockchain, you can have an app that will know exactly how much the horse has grown, to medications, to all sorts of things that you want to program and put on the blockchain once as a ledger, so it cannot be abused. Meaning, if someone's then buying a thoroughbred and finds out someone's doctored some papers, you can check on the blockchain whether any doctorings happen and they are buying a thoroughbred and not someone's manipulated the papers. Or if someone claims that they won so many showcase jumps and this horse doesn't have that history of it, it's again cheating, right? Things like that. So the whole thing, right until when you breed that horse, what happens? So you should give that use case and say it should inspire you guys to think along these lines. Here's a starter from this blockchain book. Chapter X, Y, and Z are relevant for you.
Yeah.
Only 2 or 3 chapters. People
Yeah.
don't buy a book for the whole book.
Yeah.
You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Very clever.
I've given you use case. I've given you how to brand it, how to market it, how to co-brand it. I've given you examples of how to reach out to people who has the reach and how to do the window of opportunity, when to make it bestseller. Use case for the horses and where to go, because they are your prime candidate for buying so many immediately. Here's another not so clean way of doing it. You get a charity or whoever over there and say, look, I want to give you 500 euros or whatever. However, you have to give me something. I will buy 100 of my own books, give it out to 10 people to buy 10 each, right? On that same day. So you've orchestrated 100 sales on that same day.
Yeah.
And you give that money back to the charity.
Yeah.
For example.
It's like the
or whatever you collect. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the giving block, which is
don't do one big dump purchase, because Amazon blocks that and it doesn't count then.
Okay, not all in the individuals. We're saying with the giving block, they're a blockchain-based charity collator, if you like. And what they say, of course, if you're holding cryptocurrencies, if you don't want to realize the capital gains, you can donate money to a charity, to make your crypto charity, and then you get your tax. Hang on, how does it work again? You don't have to pay your capital gains, but you can reinvest the same amount of money, go back and spend that same amount of money replace your Bitcoin, whatever it was, and you have donated. You got your. Oh, I'm getting confused. It's very clever.
Who are you talking about?
The Giving Block. It's a blockchain-based charity.
Ah, okay. I think I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit.
Basically, you donate, you give them the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They keep it.
Yeah.
And whatever gains are in there, they have registered as a charity.
Yeah.
So charity does not pay tax because it's a charity. However, the charity takes an amount from it towards charity and gives you your Bitcoin back however you want and spend it.
I'm not sure.
Or it's a donation only.
It's a donation, but it's a way of getting around capital gains tax.
Yeah, because you don't pay capital gains because you've donated it as a charity.
Exactly,
yeah. Yeah. So there's so many ways of doing this. There's so many ways of doing it.
I was watching it yesterday as well. Okay, very interesting. I'm going to come back to you with the testimonial things for starters. I want to work on that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because that's what you insert straight after the forward, you know, and you may want to put a quote in the back of the book.
yes.
And
Yeah. That's a very good idea. Let me get working on that ASAP.
yeah.
Yeah. I shall email you
What
directly.
other question or tip would you like on the book? Oh, I didn't answer your how to write a book quickly. I think I started, but I didn't finish.
All right.
So coming back to your 2 or 3 chapters, what you were talking about was machine learning. I said you ask these questions yourself, you will find some answers by just researching it, and there in it becomes a chapter.
Yeah.
So what you do is you choose 20 problem things that people are looking for. 20 problem things about machine learning. In fact, even if you Google 20 problem things, what people want to know about machine learning, you'll get them.
Yeah.
You take the hottest ones that you think are right. And if you're clever enough to learn about Google Analytics quickly, you just do analytics and say, what are the biggest searches on these types of questions on machine learning? And those are the ones you pick to answer the questions in a book.
Because there's a need. There's a
need. All right. And then based on that, don't have to tell you that you're being a journalist. You take that content, it's like doing an interview and you writing the article without plague.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Without plague. That's it.
So my final question is
50 hours and you'll be able to do a book. What's the size of a book was their second question. So for these kinds of books depends on the readership. In my view, anything more than 50,000 words for these are sometimes too big, unless you are doing a real A to Z guide on it. Yeah. My last blockchain one, did you get a chance to read that?
No.
You were going to critique it for me, or not critique, but help me.
Oh, you sent it to me.
Help me, bloody.
Ooh, I've got COVID.
Yeah, I'm the one giving you all this nice quality stuff. You haven't done one thing for me. Sorry, darling.
Oh no, I've run some articles for you.
I know. Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm joking. I'm pulling your leg. You know that. So if you can just go through that, and I mean, I'm sure being a journalist in English, and you'll find some editorial grammary or whatever it is, things in it.
On my list,
all my images are being redone, by the way. Every
right.
one of them. Those were just initial ones, just to put a space in there and then reminder for me to redo the images. But I've got some amazing images being designed just now.
Yeah.
So that one particularly was just over 50,000, for example, but I'm writing articles 1 a week generally.
Yeah.
That can easily be version 2. I don't know. But I could replace some of the existing content with some of these articles as live cases, published articles or whatever, as an annex or whatever. But generally, I would say, between 30 to 50,000
is a sweet spot. Yeah,
is the sweet spot. 30 to 50,000 for business book. No one has time. That's the problem. Reading it. The reason why I did that many is because I wanted to cover the breadth and depth of it. Because some people will know basics of blockchain or will know basics of Bitcoin, but they may not know the basics of trading, what the signals mean, or they won't know the difference between the different wallets. They may not know the difference of exchanges and how exchanges scalp people and things like that. So they may not know how to protect their various parts of the assets. So they will only read 2 or 3 chapters. If people just read 3 or 4 chapters in a book and get a takeaway out of it, to me, that's success.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because so many times people might buy a book and they never open it. I mean, I recently bought a book and it sounds very, very interesting and I want to read it. It's called The Austerity, The History of a Dangerous Idea by Mark Bly. But I haven't read it yet.
There you go.
And I know I've seen him lecture and I've seen, he is a beautiful writer.
You see, I have so many books like that, as I'm telling you. Front, back, forward, testimonial, and the 2 or 3 chapters. That's it.
Yeah, that's a success.
That's it. That's all I've read. And I'm being open and honest here now. I don't care whether it's a Jack Welch book or even Jack Canfield's book or whatever, Blur in the early days, to I'm just looking at some of these, even
Mm.
some of the cookbooks, you know, I just use it for inspiration.
Is there a
I,
blockchain?
I don't own a cookbook. These were given to me. Two of them were given to me.
Are
I've
they
opened it twice in my life just
are
for
they,
inspiration to look at a frigging picture.
are they blockchain cookbooks?
No.
Hmm.
There is a bloody concept, isn't it? How to not doctor your recipe. How to not
I
doctor
was
the
thinking.
recipe. What other problem on the book journey do you want me to help you with?
Those are all the things I was going to ask, pretty much.
Is there any other challenges that you think, how do you do this? How do you do that?
Well, I
But you
mean,
got that quick thing. You got that quick thing answered now, right? You
yes.
take it 20, 40, you cut it down to 10 or 15 maximum chapters, 10 to 15 maximum chapters. You find three big questions people want in terms of a problem to solve or a need in
Mm,
each of those. So 15 chapters, if you have three per each, is 45. The green things, that how we started this call. You say
yeah,
every day I'll do 2 hours on this. You take three questions and you just vocally record it. Oh, in this, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's that. And you can, it gets typed as well, by the way, as you know. And you've filled the content up. Then it's just words. Then it's just wordsmithing it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
How do you write it? When people say, how do you write a book and how long it takes and la la la, that's how I did my first two.
Yeah, because I guess because up until I have done a couple of nonfiction books before. I've done about 18 books in total. A couple of them were nonfiction, but they were memoirs, so they weren't like actual nonfiction content. This is my first actual tech book. So and it's feature driven, it's people driven. So no, it's interesting. First of many, we hope.
There you go. So there's ways of doing it.
Mm,
There's ways of doing it. The other way of doing it, the cheat way, another way is look at all your previous articles, take bits out from every one of them. You've got a book.
mm,
I know I can do quite a few based on just that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's so many ways. I've done various videos from interviews to events and online things, just taking sound bites from every one of them, and you got a video book. Right?
that's true. Yes, yeah.
You know,
Even remotely, you can still do it.
you still do it.
Mm,
Yeah. So it doesn't take that long,
mm,
and you have a whole video book. So there's different ways, tips, tricks, creative ways of doing things. And and I don't see this COVID thing opening up free travel and free eating and dining for at least, I don't know, 6 to 12 months.
I think so. I mean, I'm actually on that note. I actually am very much encouraged the way this year has changed. It's been a very bad year in many ways, but I think as we come to the end of it, I'm feeling optimistic, and I think that this time next year we go back to our sort of normality of some kind, which
Well,
is
no, I think normality has changed.
the new more normality. But it
The
means
new
we
normality,
can
yeah,
go
yeah,
out.
yeah. The
Mhm.
new normality,
Mhm.
it's different.
And
Where people say, come to this conference in Singapore or Miami or wherever, it's, hang on, do I really need to fly there and spend all this time? What
yeah,
is it? Who is it I'm going to meet? Why am I going there? What's in it? You'll be asking really strong, tough questions.
mhm.
Why aren't you putting your conference online? I can see it in the leisure of my bed or my sofa and watch the speakers. Should I need to speakers? If I need to interact, there are now people already doing it. And I've got a partner who's doing it for us. Uh, virtual meetings. So on the thing, it's actually called V Meets if you want.
Yeah,
So they actually, you can meet and talk to the people in the exhibitors, to speakers, to anyone who's there virtually. And they're
yeah.
also going to do video Zoom calls with that person immediately as well, or Skype calls or WhatsApp calls directly. So
Mm.
why do you need to do that? Unless you need to press flesh, go out, get drunk, and have photographs with Acon.